welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone. And it's just me doing the interviews, but I have a really, 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 really special woman on the other end who should be alive. Thank you very much. And this is coming from a woman with a chronic disability of cerebral palsy. Well, when you hear Cherie's story, you're not going to believe it. And now Cherie has a bionic heart. She almost died, and I'll tell you my story about almost dying too when we get to the interview. So she and I are going to make a fun interview out of this, and this interview is a long time coming. We're finally getting it done. So without further ado, I give you Cherie Aimée.
Thank you so much, Wynn. Oh, my goodness, and welcome. Everybody listening, it's an honor to be here, Wynn. And yes, just like Wynn said, this interview is definitely a long time coming. So we're both very, very excited to share our connection together and to really see how we can serve you guys all best during this show. So again, my name is Cherie Aimée, and yes, I am definitely a medical miracle as well as Wynn. 6 years ago, I actually suffered from cardiac arrest, and I literally died right in my husband's arms. Thankfully, I had just arrived in the emergency room of my local hospital, and I spent 3 months in a coma where it was unknown if I would survive. And during that time, my heartbeat actually I was in end-stage heart failure. So at the time of my cardiac arrest, the doctors could not resuscitate me. So CPR did not work on me. And part of why I'm still alive today is even after 90 minutes of chest compressions and CPR and ready to call my time of death, there was one doctor in the emergency room who refused, even well after 90 minutes, who refused to call my time of death. And he instructed everybody to continue with CPR while he attached me to a temporary life support device. And I was shortly after transferred down to New York Presbyterian Hospital in New York City. And it's there that I had to undergo several open heart surgeries, including being attached to an external bionic heart that sat outside of my body for 3 months. And so while my heart was either not beating or once it started beating again, it was very, very weak. This bionic heart actually acted as my heart long enough for these doctors to try to save my life. So, like Wynn said, I was on the bionic heart for about 4.5 years. And I recently, as of 2 years ago, was transplanted with a donor organ, a donor heart. And so that's been really the last 7 years of my life. It's been crazy. It's been, being on disability. It's been the unknown and not knowing what's going to happen to me and my health. And, I'm just blessed now to be sitting here, talking to all of you and sitting here with you, Wynn, and being able to share, this powerful story that took my life into a really dark, dark place. And somehow I came out of that and not only survived physically, but emotionally. I survived emotionally that trauma. And now I'm just really here to help inspire others to, take a look at their current situations and their current disabilities and the limitations that they have, in your life, and to let you know that you can still create a beautiful, beautiful life, no matter what, your current circumstances. So, again, Wynn, it's an honor to be here with you and your audience. So I appreciate you having me.
Well, you're welcome. And I don't know where to begin, but I guess I'll begin by saying, now, can you have a full-time job? No. No way.
No, even though I don't have the bionic heart inside me anymore, it was quite painful. It's really almost sized for most men are the ones that really get saved because, heart disease is literally the number one, killer of women all over the world. And part of that is because our symptoms aren't the same. And so a lot of our heart failure symptoms or heart disease symptoms, they go unnoticed until it's too late. And I share that because, the device was actually a bit too big for my body. So I have a small body frame. And because of that, they had to really fit it inside me. And, there was a lot of internal damage done to really save my life. So for me to hold a full-time job is very difficult because I still have ongoing, very severe chronic pain. So what I've done is I've figured out a way to create a business that I can do from home as I'm recovering.
Smart cookie. Because it's all you can do because, as Cherie knows this and I know this, living on disability, that's another whole story in itself. And
right.
My podcast listeners know that I have cerebral palsy, and luckily I have the family support / the financial support that I need, and that goes to technology again, but luckily I have the family support and the financial support that I need. And so when I say smart cookie to Cherie for making a full-time job for herself because of her chronic pain, she's very smart because she knows as well as I know living on disability is not pretty.
No, not at all. Yeah,
No.
not at all. And it's tricky too. I mean, there's so many logistics involved, and it's and at the same time, it's not enough to even live on. So it's important to figure out ways to supplement that, and even if you can, try to come off of it if possible.
Well, yes, and you make a good point. Supplementing that is the best thing since sliced bread. I am slowly but surely walking away from education, not because of the kids, but because of the paycheck in education and because of the democracy of education. But while I still have my teaching job, I might as well keep it just because so I won't be living on disability so much. But getting back to Cherie, what is your full-time job? Is your full-time job being a motivational speaker, or what?
Yeah, so right now, that's definitely on my, it's a part of my plan to do more speaking gigs. So I have done some speaking already that I'm looking to take to the next level and do more this year. But for right now, a lot of my teaching and my clients are all based through the internet. So I have clients that I work with to help them with social media branding. I help, specifically I help clients that are creative, that are very, heart-centered, and those that want to be, a leader in their own right, a leader in their lives, a leader impacting the lives of many people around the world. And usually my clients have some type of transformational story that's going to help other people to live a better life. So I help mentor them and guide them on really, for those that are just confused, they don't know where to start online, they don't know how to build a brand, they don't know how to get through their limiting, mindset beliefs, they feel like they can't do it. I'm that support that shows them step by step how to actually do what I've really been able to do since this whole tragedy. So I love what I teach because I'm living it. And, right. And so what's great though is that besides, any kind of speaking where I have to go, physically to the location, most of my work is just done either from my phone or from my computer. And that to me is really, really key because there's a lot of times when I just have to lay down, I'm in so much pain.
Yeah.
And what's incredible is that I started this business 2 years ago, right after my heart transplant. And I had complications, so I came home in a wheelchair. And I had to learn how to feed myself. I had to learn how to walk all over again. It took the entire 2015 for me to retrain my whole body how to function again. I was like just learning from scratch. And a lot of that year was spent in bed, flat on my back, or with, rehabilitation and physical therapy. And I literally started growing my business just from my phone while I was laying down in bed in pain. So, and I'm very, yeah. Go ahead.
You are a miracle to all of us because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people say to me all the time, why are you spending so much time on Facebook? Why are you spending so much time on social media? Why are you doing this podcast? Hello, Cherie, you just summed it up right there. Hello.
Yeah.
I have a disability. I have been, even though I'm lucky enough to hold a part-time job, I have to be really careful on what I do for my own body.
Yes. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
So the cell phones have saved us as fellow entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that we can take it anywhere, the fact that we can just be laying in bed or laying on the couch, if we need to rest and still be able to be active online. I mean, most people around me, they can't tell when I'm resting, when I'm in pain, or when I'm, feeling good. They absolutely cannot tell. So, that's thanks to technology, and that's thanks to this phone.
Yeah, that's thanks to a cell phone, and then thanks to technology and a voice. And
yes.
So I'm going to ask you this before I have a coughing attack, and I'll put myself on mute if I do.
Okay.
what has been your favorite entrepreneurial moment?
I think my favorite entrepreneurial moment, I should say, since my tragedy was probably when I launched my first program offer to my social media tribe. And I was live streaming for about a year or less on the app called Periscope. And right, and I had shared my story with thousands of people from all over the world, different countries. And I really shared very authentically. I was very real then. I mean, I came online streaming in my pajamas, no makeup, no nothing. I was just me, raw, vulnerable. And I told everybody that, look, I'm recovering from, this near-death tragedy. I'm recovering from 4.5 years with a bionic heart keeping me alive. I'm recovering from complications from my heart transplant. Like, I don't have anything to offer you guys right now but my heart and my love. And what I found was that me being vulnerable and me just giving my love to the world, I attracted people from all over the world. And I'll never forget that moment when they were literally begging to work with me. And I didn't have any kind of program set up, nothing. And I sat down and I had listened to them for months and I had listened to their concerns. And that's when I created the business of teaching them how to brand themselves and how to share their story powerfully online. And when I launched it, I had no idea that in that state from my bed, trying to recover and trying to rehabilitate every inch of my body, I had no idea how badly people wanted to work with me. And the amount of income I was able to generate just from one live stream of announcing my program over Periscope, over a live streaming app to people from around the world, to me, when that happened and when I saw that people were willing to pay me, even though I was not fully recovered, even though I was in chronic pain, when I saw how many people wanted to work with me and were ready and had given me their money, I literally the next day just cried my eyes out. I mean, I had seen just a whole other level of doing business that I had never experienced in my life, and before my tragedy, I was CEO of a digital tech firm, and I had, 20 people working for me, and I had, big accounts. And to come out of that tragedy feeling so broken just months prior to live streaming on Periscope, and Wynn, let me tell you, I was terrified of cameras. I was terrified of, I never had pictures of me taken when I was younger. I mean, I got on there terrified, and not just the camera, but now to be live, forget YouTube videos. I had to be live, but I did it anyway because I knew that I was so disabled I could not leave my apartment. And if I couldn't leave physically my apartment, how was I going to make money? And I saw Periscope as being this doorway, this gateway to a whole brand new life for me, a possibility that gave me hope for my future. And this is me literally still in a wheelchair. So it really opened my eyes. And so I have to say, of all the success I've experienced, in my life, before my death, that to me was the most pivotal moment of my life. And that proved what I had set out to do. And that was to create a brand that was so true to who I was, that was so real and so vulnerable. And I didn't have to fake it, like I didn't have to fake being this female business owner, all dressed up with the makeup and this and that I could be in my vulnerable state. I could be suffering from a disability, and I could still be a top player in business and in marketing and in branding.
Yes, you can, and you may have a new client after this interview. Hint, hint, because I need help with my branding, and I'm like, okay, this is, I don't know, the angels speaking to me on Valentine's Day, I don't know. So we'll talk offline, but.
Absolutely.
So this is the angels speaking to me. Talk about walking medical miracle. So, okay. What has been your favorite platform to work with?
So, I really loved Periscope, but, all these social media platforms change over time. So I really, I'll tell you the three top platforms I'm on right now are, so I started off on Periscope, and what I've recently done is I've shifted and moved my tribe over to Facebook. And I did that for many reasons. Number one, most of the people that I started with on Periscope that have gone on, they're growing their brand, they're doing big things, they have shifted as well. So we all kind of shifted around the same time over to Facebook once Periscope started shifting their algorithm and doing some things with their app. And, we kind of justified it by, there's no bigger platform than Facebook. And Facebook had just come out with live streaming. And we figured, for a while there, many of us were doing both Periscope and Facebook Live. And I think after a while, we just realized that our attention needed to be on Facebook, because now there's so many things you can do with Facebook. You can have a business page. You can boost, put a couple of dollars behind some of your live streams and push it out into the market, a bigger market that can hear your message. So you can reach more people through Facebook now. So that right now tends to be my favorite platform, but I'm also very active on Twitter, which I actually today just landed a new podcast interview for a new show from a guy down in Florida, right off of Twitter. He just found me on Twitter. So there's a lot of, thank you. Yeah. So I'm definitely connecting with a lot of key people through Twitter. So I definitely recommend Twitter. And then the third platform I'm very active on is Instagram. So I would say, those three are my prime platforms, and Facebook is really my core platform right now.
I like Twitter and I like Instagram, because Twitter you have to be short and sweet, and Instagram, of course, is pictures, so everyone likes pictures, but Facebook, to me, I hate to say this, but Facebook got a little too political, so I had to stay away from political views, because my political views on education, and it's like, you guys are not helping. You guys are not helping. So let's just back off of Facebook for a little while until it all calms down. But Twitter, I've noticed that it's more business oriented, and I've actually interviewed 2 Twitter experts on this podcast, and they say that it's much easier to do hashtags on Twitter than it is on Facebook. So maybe Facebook will get in the hashtag game, but it's easier to push your social reach out with a hello, happy Valentine's Day, love my life. And so then millions and millions of people see that and may comment or may retweet it. But that's why I like Twitter and I like Instagram, because Instagram is just pictures with a caption. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I do like, and you can really connect with great people on both of those platforms. And, and I think what's really key to know with the different, social media platforms is, these major ones, whether it's Periscope, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, they each have their own kind of personality. So you're very correct with Facebook. I agree. It has gotten very political lately, and although I say it's my favorite, I do admit that in the last month or two, I'm like really, I don't want to say lost on there, but I'm not excited to be sharing on Facebook lately. And I'm hoping that it starts to shift at some point. But yes, it is very heavily political, and it feels almost like, it's drowning out everybody's voices. And
you hit the nail right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head. It's drowning out everybody's voices who's not political.
Yes, exactly. So I agree, and I totally see why you would want to back off on there, because I've thought about it many times. So, I hope it's not going to go in the other direction and get worse. I really, really hope that it starts to get better. But you know what? You don't know. Times are changing again.
Times are changing again. And now, where can people find you, and how can people work with you, even when you're flat on your back?
Yes. So there's a couple places that people can connect with me. One is on Facebook. I have a free active community. It's called Live Big, Be Happy. And you can find it at facebook.com/groups/Live Big, Be Happy. And you just ask to be approved into the group, and then you're joined. So that's one place that I'm active in every single day. So people just want to kind of start to get to know me, they can come in there. They can also go to my website at CherieAimée.com. That's CherieAimee.com. And up at the top of the site, there is a navigation button that says Meet Cherie. And if you click on that, you'll be taken to another page. And at the bottom of that page, you can actually book a 10-minute call with me for free. And so usually the best thing is to get on a call with me, and we kind of go over what you're looking to create for your life, and we see if we're a good fit. And if we're a good fit, then we can continue to work with each other. So it's very easy, and I'm very accessible online. So whether you reach out to me in the private group, or whether you go to my website and connect with me there, or if you want to send me a private message on Facebook, I will definitely respond to you. So I'm definitely around on Facebook and social media. So, but those are the two best places to reach me. So, yeah, absolutely.
And we have all that information in the show notes. you guys. And before I let the incredible and inspirational Cherie Aimée off this conference call line, I'm going to let her ask me 2 questions that she has been interested in asking me, and I promise to be as open-hearted, literally, as you were with me.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity. So my 2 questions are, number 1 is, what inspired you to get started with podcasting? And the second one is, what's your biggest challenge with your business?
What's my biggest challenge? I'm going to answer number 2 first, and then number 1 second. What's my biggest challenge with my business? Being seen as a leader with cerebral palsy, and because you do marketing, I thought that I knew you were going to ask me that question, actually. Being seen as a leader with cerebral palsy. So anyone who's listening to this, including Cherie, can gather the troops and help me out, because I'm actually going down to the count here for a little while I recover from a back surgery, because right now I am in chronic pain and I can't sit up, and it's like a mess.
Right.
So I'm a walking mess right now. But if anyone wants to reach out to me and help me with social media branding, as you know, I am on a teaching budget, and as you know, teachers don't make enough, and plus I'm on Social Security, so that's just another whole podcast in itself. And so anyone that wants to help Cherie and help me personally out and help Cherie out with her business, we would be forever grateful. And why did I start podcasting? Well, I started podcasting because at age 23, after I had 2 stop and smell the roses moments in my life, the second one was more traumatic than the first. I go into the second one and the first one in my book, Icon the Win, which can be found on Amazon. 2 weeks after that book came out, not only did my friends, my family, my fan base buy it, so much so it hit number 1 on Amazon. And then people started asking me about, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do all these things with a disability? Cherie's saying yes. Sounds like I thought. And so then I thought, okay. Then I thought, well, if I get behind this podcasting mic one more time and explain I have cerebral palsy, people are going to tune me out. So I thought, why not bring other inspirational solo entrepreneurs on and talk to them and learn from them. I'm always a lifelong learner, so that's how I started podcasting.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Yes, and I totally can relate to that. I love it. I love it. You're really inspirational, Lynn. And I'm like so honored to be on this show with you. It's really, really, it means a lot to me, because there's not many people that I really know, except for maybe in my hospital setting, that can possibly relate to what it's like to be building, this business and to have, a disability or to be, or to have any kind of physical, whether it's pain or limitation that, that requires you to be creative in how you approach the same task that other business owners can do much easier. And it's really refreshing to be able to sit and chat with you and that you understand. And while our circumstances are slightly different, we both can relate to each other's situation and challenges. And I think that alone is such a bond. It's such a special bond that I don't get to experience enough out in business. So I really want to thank you for bringing me on, and I just honestly feel really, really blessed that you've come into my life. And I really, it's funny, when we booked this on Valentine's Day, I just knew it was so perfect. I'm like, that's the best way for me to spend Valentine's Day is with Lynn.
As with Lynn, because Lynn understands you.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually going to put another plug in for a plug that's going to surprise Cherie after this. She doesn't know I'm doing this. And because Cherie had her heart transplant, I want you guys to go look up the Chris Krug Foundation. He's organ donor recipient of the liver, and his big mission is organ donation and organ donation and transplants. And he got primary sclerosing cholangitis, which is cirrhosis of the liver, didn't drink. He's a U.S. Olympian. Thank you very much. U.S. Olympian, won the bronze medal in Utah, and I know him personally. And so I just want you guys to think about when you go for your driver's license, and I know that Cherie would agree with me on this one. When you guys go for your driver's license or state ID, they even do it on state IDs. Now, just check yes to be organ donor. Just check yes. It's 2 seconds, and it doesn't take very long. And I am a recipient of blood. Blood doesn't take that long. Organs don't take that long. So please, 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 when you guys listen to this on Sunday, or if I have time, I'll get it up on Thursday. And so please, on this Valentine's Day, make sure that heart is checked on your driver's license. And I know that Miss Cherie would agree. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
Cherie wouldn't be sitting there without this organ donation of the heart.
Yes.
This interview would not be happening without the help of the doctors and the organ donations. So please, 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 check that box.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Lynn. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. And
yes.
That, I know that would mean a lot to you because you're, and I don't know how much stuff you do with organ donations, promotion, but I certainly do a lot because of my experience and my, they had to give me blood, in 2006. I wouldn't be here without someone donating blood. And Cherie wouldn't be here without someone donating a heart. So there we go.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and definitely, yeah, I'm actually working on a couple of campaigns that we're going to be doing with my hospital this April for Organ Donor Month. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting very, very active in that area. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you absolutely for mentioning that. Yeah.
We all have to be active in that
Yeah.
area. And I don't care whether you don't want to save a person's life, but as I said, Google the Chris Krug Foundation and you'll find out that incredible story. And if this incredible story doesn't help you decide whether to be an organ donor or not, I can't help you any further. I can't help you any further because I have done all I can, and Cherie's trying to bang the drum loudly about organ donation too. She might have not even thought about that until I brought it up. But
Yes.
let's just make this world a better place. Let's just help human beings. And that being said, this episode is sponsored by Grace by Grit, and Grace by Grit is an athletic company out of California. And then this episode is also sponsored by Dr. Kelly, who's a health and wellness coach. She's actually focusing on a book right now, so she's swinging towards that. So be on the lookout for her book. And I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode. God knows I certainly did. And I want to thank Cherie Aimée for coming on here today and sharing her incredible story. And of course, I'll be keeping tabs on Cherie, and if anything major happens, I will let you guys know. And let's just keep the hearts beating strong, and happy Valentine's Day, even though this episode will be post-dated on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day can still be Sunday, as long as you have love and support around you. And I hope you guys enjoyed another fabulous episode. Thanks to you guys.